Hello and welcome to House and Home Chat, Real Estate Real Talk with Dena and Chris. I'm Dena Mathis.
Hi, I'm Chris Breitenbach, and today we have a great topic to discuss with you, one that everyone can benefit from, and that is organizing the spaces in your home. Today we're going to be chatting with Tracy Carter. She's a sales designer with Closets by Design. She's going to offer us some tips and pointers to help us get organized.
Can't wait to hear all about that. But then in the Real Talk portion of our program, Chris and I are going to be discussing the top 6 tips on decluttering your home, whether you're planning to stay in your home or whether you're planning to move. So we'll get into that after we talk with Tracy. But for now, we're going to welcome Tracy Carter to our program.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We're excited to have you here today. So tell us a little bit about yourself today.
Sure. So again, my name is Tracy Carter. I'm from Closets by Design, and I like to tell people that I came to design naturally because my father growing up was a residential developer.
Oh, okay.
So ever since I was a little girl, I remember walking through new homes all the time with him. And I would always look at the homes as a blank canvas.
Mm-hmm.
And I would always think about how the family moving into that home, like how are they going to decorate it and make it their own. And so that really stuck with me and really created a love of design and organizing. And so I've been fortunate to renovate a few different homes in the area. And it was through that work that I met Closets by Design, and now I'm here. So,
okay. How long have you been with Closets by Design?
Just a couple of years now.
A couple of years, okay.
Yes, and have gotten to work on dozens and dozens of different projects with individuals and families just throughout the entire area, and have really enjoyed the experience.
That's great.
Yeah.
So for a lot of us, I mean, we all want to be organized, right?
Yes.
You know, we all strive to be organized.
Keyword is want.
Some people are better than others. For those that don't really know where to start, Tracy, you know, what are your recommendations?
Yes.
How do you begin that process?
I always like people to think about where's your biggest pain point.
Good thought. Yes.
Which room is causing you the most stress? You know, what is that room?
Well, your mudroom is very large.
It's really big, but it can, you know, it needs like the organizational piece. It's like things still find their way all over the floor, right?
Exactly.
So maybe we can set up an appointment.
Yes, yes, we definitely can. So start there. Like,
okay.
Where is your daily frustration? Which room?
Okay.
Which room are you stressed out the most about? And just start there and call the professionals like Closets by Design and really get the ball rolling.
Okay.
You know, I always encourage people not to think all or nothing.
Okay.
It can be overwhelming when you have multiple spaces in a home that you want to do. So start somewhere and start where that biggest pain point is.
That's a great point.
Yes.
Well, and get you involved as quickly as possible rather than thinking through what you want.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
Exactly. I feel like when you bring a professional alongside, you're looking with fresh eyes and a fresh lens. And I love to see a space the way you naturally have it.
Woo!
It's a little bit scary, but at the end of the day, when you're organizing, you want to pay attention to how do you really use the room? You know, what are your rhythms? So that whatever design you end up with really is functional for you, whether you live alone or if you're with a family, making sure it's functional for everyone.
Sure, that makes sense.
It does make sense, right? I'm just thinking in my head.
It's always clean and neat and tidy.
Well, but it reminds me of a book that Tom and I both read, and it was one of those books that explained a lot, like why does he have to have things that are handy, and it gives me anxiety.
And you have to put them away.
And I have to put them away. And so again, having a professional come in, if you see us in our environment, you get the gist of the fact that you may open up my junk drawer and it's a mess, but you don't see it on the counter. And he's got stuff in neat piles like here. So that's what went through my head when you were talking about looking at how somebody lives and how do you use the space. I think that is, I just think that makes sense.
Yes, it's so important. It really is.
So what if somebody comes to you, you know, or do they come to you usually with an idea in mind, or they just come to you with like a space in mind? Like what if someone says, look, I want you to do a wall of cabinets on, you know, in this space? Do you usually go with what the client wants? Do you offer up additional suggestions? How do you work in the process through that?
I would say that 99% of the time when people call us, they have a specific room that they want us to come out and work with them on. And really, it's a combination of assessing the space, talking about the vision that you have for the space, what your end goals are. Some people have a defined vision. Others don't. You know, and really need help thinking through, how do I maximize this space? So whether you don't have any solid ideas or not, we're going to come alongside you and really help you come up with the best design to really meet your vision, but most importantly, give you that function that you're looking for.
So are those designs, or those pieces rather, that you incorporate into the space, is that all customized, like different, you don't have like a, you know, is there like a cookie cutter set of cabinetry and drawers or whatever? How does that all work?
Sure. So, you know, whatever room we're working in, whether it's a walk-in closet, maybe it's a kitchen pantry, a laundry room, or you're doing a built-in in one of your spaces, everything is customized. We can create things as simple as you want them or as custom as you want them. It's one of the things I love about working with Closets by Design is we really cater every project to the client.
That's nice.
We also price every project for the client. So we empower the client that here's all of your different options. Here's all the different choices that are available to you. So that you can pick and choose how custom you want to go in a room, and also control the final price, which matters too.
And I understand Closets by Design is a local company.
We are. So a lot of people may not know that we're in Blue Ash. We actually have a manufacturing facility there.
Wow,
We also
I didn't know. I did not realize that.
Yes, so we're off of Deerfield Road. We do, which helps a lot.
It helps to be get the visual.
Yes, so I would say if you're a visual person and want to start by getting ideas, stop by the showroom. Check out what we have. We almost always have one of our designers at the showroom who would be available to answer questions. And after you see things, you can easily schedule an appointment for a free consultation. That way you can take the ideas that you see in the showroom and then let's get into your actual space and think through what works for you.
Sometimes seeing something will spark
that thought, right? Or maybe maybe you're thinking, this is where I want to begin. Maybe I want to begin in my kitchen. And the reality is you go to the showroom and now you're thinking something totally different.
You're thinking garage.
My paint just moved.
I know. It's a moving target.
But you don't think of you know, maybe it's converting a dining room to an office or whatever, right? So different pain point alleviates the kitchen. I don't know.
I
love
that
this.
Sounds like a project that might be on your plate, Chris.
Maybe. But again, I'm thinking, well, I might think my pain is X, Y, or Z when the reality is if I alleviate something different and just never went there.
Yes, I would say a classic example that I see a lot of, especially in the past year, a lot of families working from home now permanently full time.
So true.
So maybe you started out thinking you didn't need a formal dedicated space to your office. So I see a lot of clients turning to guest rooms that maybe we're only getting used a couple of times a year. So we're converting those into home offices, adding a Murphy bed. So those few times a year that you have family visit, you still got the function for guests. However, you're maximizing the space on a daily basis for your home office.
That makes so much more sense when your guest room gets used maybe 2 or 3 times a year.
Right, if ever.
Exactly,
Sure.
and you're in there using it like you're off in a corner trying to do business from, you know, a teeny tiny, not well organized space day in and day out, but that makes
And we've done that.
sense.
We have a 4-bedroom, we have nobody there. So my husband works out of an upstairs bedroom, and then I've taken over the dining room.
Okay, yeah.
And so we're thinking of moving the dining room out to the living room because I've got plenty of room for both spaces in that space, and just making a designated office.
Absolutely.
So you're right. It's whether it's one person or 2 people, and I can't imagine having people working from home and kids.
And having kids in the home.
Yeah. And having study space.
Yes. Yes.
That's a lot these days.
So what are some, like, what trends are you seeing right now?
Yeah, there's so many beautiful trends out there right now. So when I think about different rooms, like a walk-in closet, we're seeing a lot of the floor-to-ceiling shoe collections, lots of designated shelving for handbags, a lot of movement towards putting drawers in the walk-in closet, so you can get that extra dresser out of the master bedroom. I think that I'm seeing drawers across the board in most of the closets that we install. And for kids' closets, lots of cubby spaces. When we think about other rooms, the laundry space, I see a lot of movement towards the stackable front load washer dryers, so that you can add more countertop space in a smaller
that makes sense.
laundry room, some base cabinets, or you can take part of the laundry room and convert it into that extra mudroom feature that a family might be looking for. Kitchen pantries, so many fun options when it comes to accessories. So whether it's the sliding baskets for produce and snacks, the clear drawers, certainly the baking sheet dividers, all of the fun stuff.
And I've got the basic wire white racks that are in
me
mine,
too.
You know, so I know it's my dream.
It's a huge transformation because a lot of people start off with the wire and there's frustration. You can't sometimes get everything to set up the right way.
Bins or things fall or they don't.
Even cans get stuck into.
Yes, or the shelving isn't deep enough.
Right.
And you've got all this space, but it's so underutilized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I hear that a lot from the clients that we work with, that they see all of the wall space in a pantry or a walk-in or even a laundry room, and they want to be able to maximize the wall space.
Right.
So the customization that we're able to work with you on is such a transformation at the end of the day.
That's exciting.
It
I
is.
get really excited about
I do
it.
too.
That's why you're the perfect person to be doing. What about trends as far as like materials go or color of cabinets? Or, I mean, do you offer different options there, hardware? I mean, is there anything that is more on trend, or you just offer a wide array of options?
We have a wide variety of everything from solid colors to wood grains to even textured wood grains.
Oh, wow, okay.
We're doing a lot of herringbone patterns.
Oh, really? How pretty.
Which is really fun.
Wow.
I think that navy.
That sounds so cool, like in a master closet
Yes.
or something. Yeah.
It's so fun. It's beautiful. Navy is a very popular color right now. We definitely have seen a spike in that. The farmhouse tones are still, really strong in our local market. So lots of the grays, the whites, the wood tones up against that color palette. And I would say that matte gold hardware is
Okay.
having
That's the thing.
its moment.
Okay.
So the matte gold looks gorgeous up against navy, black, gray,
Oh, wow.
white. And it's such a simple way that you can refresh your room
Mhm.
and really dress it up and just give it some new life.
Sounds like you have a real designer's eye too, not just for creating the space, but for the actual, design of the mixing of the, the materials and such.
I think it's a balance. I'm always striving for that win-win.
Mhm.
I want it to be beautiful, but at the end of the day, I also want to make sure it's super functional for the person that's going to use that room. So for me, I may be someone who likes closed doors and drawers, so I don't have to see clutter.
Like Chris.
Closed doors are good.
Yes, but there's lots of people that want to see their clothing folded on
See,
open shelving.
I
Right.
like that. I like the open
Yes.
shelving.
Yeah.
And so I have to say about 10 years ago, we had Closets by Design
Mhm.
come out in designer space. And the thing that I think impresses me a lot about it is, well, one, I love my closet, of course. But the other thing is I feel like 10 years later, it's still really timeless. So I look at it and I don't necessarily think or want for something different. So kudos to, the designers there, and also to the quality of materials and, the functionality of the pieces that went in there. So
I
really love
love
it.
hearing that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people may not know that everything that we produce goes all the way to your floor.
Okay.
So it
That's
puts the
got it.
weight
Yes.
on your floor the way that the rest of your furniture does. So that is a really distinctive factor about Closets by Design.
Mhm.
A lot of
Yeah, a lot of them are like
competitors.
painting, right?
Where they're
Yeah,
hanging,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you do think how much weight can.
I know that mine go all the way to the floor, kind of like a piece of furniture almost, but I had never given that a consideration,
Yes.
but that's.
It's not something that
Yeah.
you would naturally think
Mhm.
about,
No, not at
but
all.
we're able to give you a lifetime warranty on the systems that we
Nice.
install, because we're not putting the weight on the wall,
Mhm.
the weight's on the floor. And so really it's designed to last the lifetime of your home.
That's a great
Yeah.
added feature.
That
And
is.
you can customize it over time. So if you
Okay.
want to swap out a section of shelving to drawers
Mhm.
or vice versa, the idea is that the systems we install are really there to adjust with you as you grow.
That's a great point.
That
Yeah.
is, so that you don't need to do another total overhaul. You can
Exactly.
tweak when your needs change.
Yeah, you've got the little, kind of like the little brackets or whatever
We
that you can
do.
add shelving to, like I actually did that and I hadn't even thought about that, but
Yes.
how versatile it is, because I've got this kind of hanging wardrobe space with
Mhm.
drawers underneath, but as time progressed, I decided I didn't need all that space, so I just put shelving in there, and they're not drawers, but the shelves still
Mhm.
serve to, fold in
They
jeans
give you their open.
and give you, the
Your
open
open.
that I like.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly.
So getting out your crystal ball, where do you think the trends are going?
I'm probably like both of you. I spend a lot of time watching trends on social media. I love to look at Houzz and Pinterest for
Yeah.
new ideas. I'm not embarrassed to say that HGTV is on at our house
Yeah.
a lot. I love to watch Lindsay and Leslie on Unsellable Houses. They're
Okay.
probably one of my favorites, and I always get new ideas
Yeah.
from
Mhm.
them. I think that really we're in such an exciting time where I feel like people are taking more risk when it comes to color,
Mhm.
when it comes to thinking outside of the box. I think with families at home now more than ever,
Yeah.
people are really investing in the different spaces of their home and looking at how can I maximize this? How can I fully enjoy this space? So I think that we'll continue to see a lot of customization instead of cookie cutter solutions in the market.
That's great. That's
Mhm.
great. What?
Go
Oh,
ahead.
I was going to say, so one of our focuses on House and Home Chat is that we want to help not just our clients who are moving, obviously we want to help them who are moving, but also those people who are staying in their home. Is there a difference in terms of what you would recommend somebody do if they're staying or going? How do you approach that subject?
Sure. Oftentimes if a client comes to me and they're getting their home ready to sell, we're having a lot of conversation about, what are the elements that would appeal to the maximum number of potential buyers. Exactly. So we're probably sticking with neutral colors, very neutral hardware, universal designs.
Something that appeals to the masses.
Yes.
And that's what we recommend.
And that's what we recommend too.
Right?
Yes.
So I think that when a client is in a home that they plan to be in for a number of years, I really encourage people to look at the things that inspire them, even if it's not on trend or popular right now. Right. If you love a color, pull it into a space. If you want to do something fun with hardware or design that someone else might think is really different, it's your home. This is the space that you come to every day.
Oh, but Tracy, what if they pick something really ugly? Are you like, okay, we'll go with it? Or do you go, well,
have you thought?
I think part of my responsibility when I'm working with clients is that I'm there to give as much information as possible. So there may be things that you're not even thinking of.
Right.
So when we're talking about design in a space, you may have a concept that would totally impede your ability to move around in the room. So it's my responsibility to kind of walk clients through based on our dimensions. How can we lay this out in a way that we accomplish the end results that you want, but everything feels very comfortable and there's a good flow.
Yeah, you might be cutting off flow, exactly.
Right.
Or doing something that would make the space just to be a detriment to the space rather than an addition.
You may love a color and have it in mind for a space that we're working on together. Maybe you haven't thought about what that color looks like up against your hardwood floors or your carpet. So it's my responsibility to kind of help you see all the elements that are at play, things you may not be thinking of, and present you with all the choices. And at the end of the day, I want you to pick what is best for the look that you're going for. And everyone's unique, everyone's different, and I love to see the transformation at the end when we've accomplished the vision that someone had.
And she seems like Tracy would be really good at helping you kind of
walk through that diplomatically, gently.
You have that way
gently, but
you.
Definitely encouraging.
You seem to have that way about you for sure. What about some of the most unique spaces you've transformed? Is there, I don't know, somebody called you with an area of the home that you're like, oh, this is a first?
Yes. So I've worked on so many unique projects and lots of things that aren't in our standard walk-in closet, kitchen, pantry, laundry room.
I'd be curious to know what.
A lot of entertainment centers.
Okay.
The past year.
Okay.
You may have heard there's a big backlog on furniture in the marketplace.
Yes.
So I have done built-ins for people that I just did one for a family that had an 80-inch TV and wanted the built-ins around it and wanted lots of drawers for board games and shelving to display pictures. So you may not think of Closets by Design for a built-in project like that. And it's one of the things that we're great at doing and working with clients on.
Well, and it makes sense that you need customization for that because everybody's space is different.
Yes.
And those giant TVs, you need furniture around them for your stuff. Like even, I don't know, we have video games, right? So your video games and the video game supplies.
Sure.
Yeah. and to
Cable
your
box.
point,
We still have a cable box. Most people don't.
furniture is so hard to get right now.
Right.
So why not build it and build it to your specifications?
And then it fits your home.
needs. Yeah, I love it.
Mhm.
Exactly, and we anchor into your studs. So while we are floor-based, everything is anchored into your walls. It's not gonna move. And
People can climb them and it's not going to tap.
Yeah,
Don't climb your furniture.
Grandbaby, who's
Don't climb You're dusting that top shelf. How else do you get there?
You've got to scale it, right?
Yes. And I did do a recent project with a family that converted a laundry room off the entry of their home into a mudroom space. They
Okay.
had several young children, and we built off of the 3 main walls, tall cabinets for coat storage.
Mhm.
Under the cabinets were large drawers for shoes.
Yeah.
And we put in smaller cabinets above the coats for extra storage.
Can never have enough.
There
No,
was
no.
plenty of room for the whole family to put away coats and book bags and sports gear and devices. And we did the entire space in black with matte gold hardware.
Oh, how pretty.
That's bold.
It was gorgeous
Yeah.
and super functional for
Wow.
this family.
Love
So
it.
It was that win-win.
I mean, you can create that kind of masterpiece out of your mudroom.
Right.
You know,
A
that piece of
mudroom.
The art in your mudroom
Yes.
is your cabinetry and the jewelry of the hardware. That's
Yes.
so cool.
It is so
Yes.
cool.
Yes, I loved it. It was so fun to work on. And that just gives you a sense for how you can look at a space
Mhm.
with fresh eyes.
Right.
Yeah.
And take something that maybe a place in your home right now that collects a lot of clutter
Mhm.
and the ability to kind of redesign that space to make it a space that you walk into and smile and think, wow.
I love that, and I'm thinking again of my house and how I'm just really looking forward to inviting you over. But to that point, do you, like, if somebody wanted a consult and said, you know, do you want to just could you just come to my home and look at how I utilize the space, not just in this one particular room, but help me to better maximize space in my kitchen,
Mhm.
this weird little nook I have here in this, you know, dining room or whatever. Are you open to those sorts of appointments as well?
We are.
Okay.
We are. So anyone can schedule a free consultation with us online at Closets by Design Cincinnati, or you can call our local office. What's nice is our designers, we can do daytime appointments, we can do evenings,
Nice.
we do weekend appointments as well. So we can work around your schedule.
Perfect.
We are open to working on one room at a time with you, or if you want to do multiple spaces and look at those. We also do a lot of new construction and remodeling projects. So for clients that are doing multiple spaces as part of that process, we can come alongside you in that.
That's
I love
great.
that. And
Great to
we'll
know.
keep that in mind for our new construction
Absolutely.
clients too, right?
Absolutely. Any final words? Any tips we've missed?
Yes, I would say that I know what it's like as a busy mom, that I can get overwhelmed at home and feel like there's so many different projects that I want to do. That list is always just, you know, accumulating. You get so much joy when you can tackle a project. So I would just encourage anyone out there that's feeling overwhelmed to, again, think back to what's that one space that would probably make the biggest difference, and give us a call
I love it.
and
I do
start the
too.
process, get the ball rolling and explore what's possible to help you get organized.
And how do they reach you?
So again, you can visit us online at closetsbydesign.com. Lots of great information there, lots of photo galleries that you can scroll through. You're also welcome to call our local office in Blue Ash and schedule a free consultation with us.
Great. And for our YouTube viewers, as you know, at the end of our program, Dena and I will have this put in print, some of the pictures along with the best way to reach out.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us, Tracy. This has been a wonderful conversation. It sparked a lot of ideas of my own,
yes.
Hopefully for our listeners and our viewers also.
Thank you.
So our small shout out of the week goes out to Tracy Carter and Closets by Design.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
One more time. And again, our small business shout out this week goes to Tracy Carter at Closets by Design. And she was just a wealth of information.
She was.
I can't wait to get myself started.
As I was walking her out, I gave her like 4 projects for her. The frozen house.
Excellent.
So switching gears into the real estate real talk portion of our program, and yet keeping on the subject of organization and spring cleaning, we thought we'd share for you 6 quick tips for decluttering an organization for number 1, if you're moving, and then number 2, if you're staying in your home.
Yeah, equally as important, right?
Both, but totally different strategies.
But different strategies.
So, tip number 1, if you're moving.
Number 1, if you're moving, I say just dedicate a chunk of time to the project. You're not going to get it all done in one sitting, right? And if you keep saying you're going to do it tomorrow,
It'll never happen.
It'll never happen, or later today. But plan it into your calendar. Dedicate an hour at noon from 12 to 1, and make that your time to dig in and start.
All day Saturday, right? And your motivation is you want to move.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Dedicate
big
large
chunk of
chunks of time. That's number 1. What else have we got, Chris?
Start with, it's an interesting strategy, especially based on, like in talking to Tracy, she's like, where are your pain points? What do you use the most? But this is a good time to start with those rooms you use the least, because once they're done, they're done. So what about those spare bedrooms, right? Or appliances. What are appliances you don't use? Those could be packed up. Expired foods. I guess if they're expired, they're not used. But but I thought that tip was really relevant. What are the things that aren't used?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to miss them. You're not going to maybe organize your toothpaste and toothbrush until you're ready for a showing.
Exactly. That's a great point, because the stuff that you use day in and day out is going to continue to
need to be used.
And, so it doesn't really make that much sense. But if you just get rid of the things that you don't use, or start with those bedrooms, those bedrooms that, that only get used a couple times a year, then that's a great place to start.
I like it.
Right?
Yeah.
So, now that winter is kind of, it's still hanging on a little bit, but technically it's over. It might be a good time to just pack up all your winter gear. So put away the hats and the coats and, your big heavy,
get them cleaned for the year and pack. And I always tell my clients, I always love this. I've been telling people this for years. Who would know? But I'm like, pack it up, and it can be in a box in your coat closet, like all your hats and mittens and stuff. But they're boxed, and you're moving. Right. So you're good. They're boxed. They're ready to go. Right. Have it just set.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a great tip.
I agree. And like you said, it can still be there. I mean, your house doesn't have to be void of all of these things.
Right.
But
but at least it's packed.
It's contained. Exactly.
Yeah. Bonus is it tells your buyers too that you're ready to move. On the move advice, it's make piles, because you're you need to get rid of things and you need to do things with them. So your keep pile, your trash pile, your shred, your donate, your sell, your storage, put it all in big piles, and those piles are looking at you, and you're going to get it done.
Yeah, that's a good point, because if you put them in boxes, then you forget what's in the box, and
then
you
that move
project just gets moved to another room
or the new home.
Exactly. So make that pile and know that it's gotta go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Another tip is to clear off surfaces. So, what are we selling in a home? We're selling square footage, right?
Space.
And so we're selling space. So you clear off surfaces and countertops and You know, it just creates for more space. It makes your home feel bigger. And in the end, that's what's going to get you the biggest bang for your buck, right?
And you can hire a company like Closets by Design, and they're going to come help you help yourself get organized.
Exactly. Tip number 6, hire Closets by Design.
Yeah,
right?
love it.
Very good. So what if you're staying, Chris?
You know, a little bit different strategy rather than, and you could devote a whole day to organization or a month or whatever, my house a month, but you can start small. So if you just take 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day and do something. So maybe it's a junk drawer, maybe it's one counter, maybe it's one something.
Yeah, I like
5 minutes a day. Over time, you're going to see that progress.
Exactly. I think that's a great tip. You don't have to tackle it all at once because it can be overwhelming.
Right. Yeah.
I say, you know, fill a trash bag a week, or
I've heard of that. Yeah.
You know, Vietnam veterans bag. Yeah, those big yellow bags.
Yeah.
So I like to, you know, go through that closet, make it a weekly thing, or a bi-weekly thing, but you know, do it on the regular and fill it up and get rid of it.
Nice. And again, not taxing, just little bit by little bit.
It's just like, okay, there's 3 things this week.
Right.
Okay, great.
So it's 3 things.
3 things go.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's still spring and we're still hoping that winter is over. So still change out all of your winter things, whether it be your winter clothes. I personally change out my closet every season, winter and summer. But things you haven't worn, good time to donate them.
Yeah.
Your coats and hats and mittens. You know, if you haven't worn them in a couple of years, what a good thing to do in a donate pile. But still go ahead and purge those. It's just a good time to do it.
Yep. Just donate, right?
Yeah.
Yep. What about that? You know, one thing that you bring into the closet because you went shopping and you bought something new, like
shoes
over the weekend.
Shoes.
Yeah, like a pair of shoes. So we say bring one thing in and purge 2.
Huh.
That's kind of what I do.
Of Tom's shoes.
Unless you're gonna get rid of your husband's. I can do that. So you go shopping, you buy one new great item for yourself, and you get rid of 2 ugly items of your husband's. All right.
I like it.
I'm good with
I
that.
like it. You know, instead of using the pile method, which sits there until you're finished, this is a time to use the box method. So boxes or crates, and you have your trash, your keep, your donate, and a relocate.
Yeah.
Box. And so as you're in a room, and again, goes with that 5 minutes. You know what? I don't like this here. This is cluttering this. I'm going to put it in the relocate box. And then you'll know that those items need a new home, or when your box gets full, that's the donate, it's time to take it.
It's time to take it. That's a really good
Step by
point.
step rather than all at once.
That's a great point, and it's just a little bit different than the staying.
Then the get it done.
Yeah.
Get it done.
But just get it done. That's right.
And our final,
hire Closets by Design.
if you're staying, they'll create places to take away that paint and help you get organized. So thanks for joining us. This has been House and Home Chat, Real Estate Real Talk with Dena and Chris. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining, everybody. Take care.